This is the Political Spotlight.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. It's more like a political flop.
Nobody listens to Bilbrey.
He's just a wannabe podcaster. No one takes him seriously.
He is a rude, crude dude that will never go any further than broadcasting from his mother's basement.
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians.
Grab another box of Twinkies and generic cola, Bilbrey.
And get back to your microphone and your audience of nobodies.
The Political Spotlight is a joke.
He is like a rude, crude dude that will never go
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians. Shut that stupid Bilbrey up.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It is Tuesday. This is one of those weeks where we're all going to be screwed up all week long because we had a Monday day off, and it's been all wobbly, and everything's going to be wonky, and it is what it is. And we'll have to just wait until we're rebalanced on the weekend and come back on Sunday ready to rock and roll. So I apologize now for the discombobulation, but we're going to get through it. We got a lot to talk about. Got a good show in store for you all in this episode 670. Moving right along, this episode is called It Cost to Not Be Corrupt. Who would have thunk? I would have figured you could have just shown up and acted accordingly, done the right thing, and not broken the laws and not taken things that weren't yours and not acted in a way that you shouldn't be acting and, do the job that you are elected to do. Do the job that you wanted to be doing. But, in today's world, in today's Muncie and Newcastle and Anderson and Winchester and Indianapolis and Washington, D.C. and elsewhere, we don't get that. So we've got who we've got until we get tired of it, and it is what it is. So we're going to be talking in this episode about Delaware County in the first part of the show. Delaware County Council met today, this morning. If you're watching live, welcome and thank you. This morning, Tuesday, May 26th, 2026, the Delaware County Council met for their first their first meeting in the month of May. It's their first, I guess that is true, and only meeting of the month of May. I forgot for a second. I tell you, it's so thrown off. First off, with today being Tuesday instead of Monday, us not being here last night, and then with the holiday being so weird. Has everybody else been thrown off by the holiday? I was not prepared for the holiday to be last weekend. I kept planning on it being this coming weekend, and it was so strange how Memorial Day fell this year. It's such a weird situation. So I promise we will get through it. The other thing is I'm still dealing with these damn ribs. I'm telling you, it's hurting. It's still hurting me. It's shocking how bad of a fall that this fall was, and how bad the ribs hurt. They were actually getting better. I was doing better Friday into Saturday, and like yesterday, I felt like halfway decent. And then today, I was driving in the car. I was going to my grandparents' house, and I took a drink of water. I had some water with me. I took a drink, and it went down the wrong pipe, and I was coughing. And of course, anytime I cough, I got to hold my ribs. But I coughed a certain way, and my God, it hurt me so much more. It felt like I had, I don't know, it felt like I was poking things around in there. So that did not feel good, and I've kind of been all out of whack ever since. So Forgive me, but we will get things back on track here. So we're going to be listening to the Delaware County Council meeting, and we're going to jump through parts of it and get just to the meat and potatoes of it, get to the parts that we're really wanting. It was almost a 3-hour long meeting, so it's a long meeting, and we're not going to watch the entirety. If you want to watch the Delaware County Council meeting, you can view that by going to the Delaware County, Indiana government page on YouTube. You can find them here on YouTube, and you can go there and you can watch the entire meeting. It is a meeting that is worthwhile, and I think the citizens of Delaware County should watch and pay attention to. So that's that. Then in the second half of the show, we are going to talk about my continued frustration with the lack of adulting, the lack of seriousness with the Delaware County Republican Party. Tim Overton is running the party, and it's amazing. It seems like years now we've just had one goofball after another, and they've just it's shocking because people will say to me, well, what do you want? You want Alexander back? Or not Alexander, a Whitehead, Victor Whitehead. Do you want Victor Whitehead back? No, I don't. Victor Whitehead was horrible. Well, do you want Ed Carroll back? No, I don't want Ed Carroll back. Ed Carroll was horrible. Well, I don't get it. Isn't Tim better than either of those guys? Well, listen, he might be better in this area or that area, but where he is better than them in certain aspects, he is so much worse than them in other aspects. And then they might be better than him in, number 1 and number 3 situations, but then they're so much worse than him in these other situations. It's just, they all suck. And honestly, again, I say this time and time again, we have got to get to a point where we either put better people in these positions or we do away with these positions. We do away with these clubs and these gatekeepers, because they are seriously not benefiting anybody in the community. They're not helping anybody but themselves, and it's really a struggle. And so we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about how that pertains to the upcoming Indiana State Convention. The Indiana State Convention will be held in June. The Democrats hold their convention, I believe, Friday the 5th. The Democrats hold their convention on Friday the 5th, Saturday the 6th. And I don't know where, maybe in Indianapolis. I haven't checked on theirs. But then the Republicans, the Indiana Republicans, will be holding their convention in Fort Wayne this year, up in the fort. And the convention will be held on Friday, June 19th and Saturday, June 20th. So I think that's interesting because I just wait. I can't wait to hear the Democrats launch into their attacks, being upset because of the fact that give me a second. Are we not on YouTube? Because of the fact that the Republicans are going to be utilizing their convention and working on Juneteenth. We are on YouTube. Yeah, you're all on YouTube. I don't understand why I'm getting that message that I'm getting. It's always something, man. It is always something. I thought we were here on YouTube. I thought we were. Okay. Well, I tell you what will get me back on track? Okay, I see we're on YouTube. It's working good. I see. I tell you what will help me out. Hit that thumb. Give us some love for all of you people that are on YouTube. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, please go click that subscription button. Do all of that. Click the bell and communicate over here on the right-hand side. We love to hear from you. Interact with us. If you want to communicate over there, that's fantastic. If you're watching in the future via replay, comment down below and let us know you are here. I am slow, and I tell you what, it's been a little bit more rough these last couple of days. I've been a little bit more slow the last couple of days, so I promise we will get through it. I tell you, I'm like, what is going on? It's not, I've done something to my screen and then I got a weird message. And so I wasn't understanding what was happening, but we're going good. So I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and get into the Delaware County meeting and watch that. And then we'll go through that and then get to the convention talk. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We're going to take a quick break here for a commercial spot. And when we get back, we will look at this Delaware County Council meeting from Tuesday, May 26th, 2026. We'll be right back. What is going on? Are we live? It says go live right up there. I don't understand what's happening. I cannot. This is so weird.
Listen, I am looking at our YouTube dashboard right now.
Okay.
And it says live. The little button on our picture shows we are live on YouTube right now. Your computer is retarded.
Do you see? But you don't see. What's the button up in the right-hand side say? Does it say live or go live?
It says go live. I'm ignoring it because it's apparently working. People are commenting. We are streaming right now.
Here's the problem. I really want to touch that button.
Don't touch that button. Don't.
This is weird. This is weird. I'm telling you, it's freaking me out.
It is very strange because it does say go live up in the corner. So it's a little bizarre, but according to everything I'm seeing,
all right.
We are live.
Okay. So here's the deal. Okay. Yeah. Grandma and grandpa are here. So here's the deal. If all of a sudden you don't see us, somebody call me. Let me say it this way. I don't want, 30, yeah, I'm telling you, I'm having a hard time. I won't do it. We'll do it at the end. We won't do it because I'm afraid that it'll kill us. It'll take us off if I do it. So I won't do it. It's very strange. So here's what will happen. If for some reason you stop seeing us, somebody notify me. Because I'm afraid Kate and I, if something happens, Kate and I won't see it because it's literally telling us. Like, you see where it says it's showtime up there and the time's not counting down?
I can leave the studio and come back.
I'm afraid. Okay, don't touch nothing, but you leave and come back and see what it does.
I will leave and come back.
All right, do that. I'm sorry, folks. We gotta just time out. I've got everything ready. We will go on, but this is a very strange situation. She's coming back in. Let's see what she goes.
No, it still says go live.
All right. Screw it. We'll do it. Do it live. We'll do it not live. Now I don't even see you. Oh, now I see you. Now you're there. Okay. I don't know. Weird. Is this April 1st? Am I on drugs? Am I alive? Okay. I don't know. Well, we'll do it.
I don't know if you're alive, but we are definitely live. So
It says we're not. Very strange. Hold on. I'm going to take a picture of this just so I will have it so I can prove it. And yeah, I see. I can see here that it looks like we're live. Give me a second here. Let me get this. Okay. I knew because... Woo! All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to go on with the show. Very strange. Well, stranger things have occurred. I'm going to try to share this. I don't know how we're going to. I don't know how we're going to end the show. We're going to be in a loop. We're going to hit the end of the show, and it's just going to start over. That's what will happen. Well, so we've got this pulled up. Let me see here if I can share the show. Lay off the gummies. I know it seems like I'm like tripping or something, but I swear I'm not. I swear. It is a little bit of the OCD, but and I'm normally all right with being able to roll through things eventually, but okay, here we go. We're going to share and see if this works. Okay, there's that. All right, you can see that up on the screen. All right, now before we go there, I want to show you guys the agenda. Let me show you guys this agenda so you can kind of see what we're working with here. Okay, here is the agenda for the Delaware County Council meeting. And you see we get into just the regular agenda posted, approval of agenda, approval of the council minutes for the 24th, 31st, the 28th. That's really ridiculous. They should never be that far behind in the minutes. And I blame that on the auditor's office. The auditor, of course, is Ed Carroll. They are the secretary for the council. And that's ridiculous that they're that far behind. So just FYI. I mean, city council is never that far behind. City council is able to get the stuff done every month. And I don't get it. Okay. Next up, transfer and appropriation agenda. They go into a motion to approve financial transfers and to amend salary ordinances with the like reductions, motion to receive backfilling report. And then we go into ordinances and resolutions. And here's where we go. Resolution 26-1, a resolution of the Delaware County Council ratifying the ARP appropriations for balances as of January 1st for the years 2024, 2025, and 2026. I want to definitely look over that, so we're going to look over that. Then we go into Joint Resolution 2026-101. A joint resolution of the Delaware County Council and the Delaware County Board of Commissioners establishing payroll internal controls, segregation of duties, and approval requirements to protect public funds. Okay, that's interesting. And then Joint Resolution 2026-100, which is a joint resolution of the Delaware County Council and the Commissioners authorizing a countywide financial and administrative system modernizing initiative One Touch to strengthen financial controls, audit compliance, and transparency. Open government presentation. That's going to be the three areas that we focus on. And I think they're the biggest parts of the meeting. We'll be talking about this stuff for a while. Of course, we go into appointments committee reports, old business, new business, guidance regarding the 2027 budget for county offices. It's almost budget time. We're only a couple months away from talking about that. That's crazy. The elected officials and department heads, public comment, and then the meeting is over. While we get ready to go into this, saying that we are just a couple months out from the budget process makes me freak out a little bit, because this is the first time I've said this, realizing that Mayor Ridenour is getting ready to go out of office in the city for 6 to 8 weeks, starting on June 1st. and he's already normally supposed to have the budget to the council in the 1st of January and 1st of July, which means it's definitely not going to happen. I'm going to be very interested to see what the city does with this budget. Now, that has nothing to do with the county, but it just made me think that for just 1 second. It might be leaving this week. I mean, this is the end of the month, so he probably is. I knew it was real close. I know the Star Press had something in the paper. We'll talk about that towards the end. That just came in my mind right when we were talking about this. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
123, 101, probation.
Okay, so the first 6 some minutes.
125, 101, probation.
We're not recorded, apparently.
3,443.
Okay. We're going to jump ahead anyways.
To untable the February 24th council meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion by Eugene, second by Brad.
We twice, but sometimes not at all. But the state file retention schedule,
God.
DCRC, and they have agreed to supplement the funding. The total cost is $322,402.34.
Get series. They went through, rebuilt some pumps and stuff. So everything on this.
Okay, what we need to
resale value.
We are going to listen to Mike Ashley.
Mike Ashley, Delaware County EMS Director. This is to finish the project for an ambulance remount we did. We started in September of 24. So bought the chassis then, and we're just now in the production. So it'll be done in about a month to 6 weeks. So this is just to pay the final cost of that. So
how do you guys fund this? This 4915
comes from doing ALS intercepts. So if we go intercept with somebody, it's $100. They pay us $100.
Okay.
So we're not making money in that deal at all, but at least that money goes into that account for.
Yeah, this will take a big chunk of it out, right? For this, just this one.
Yeah, it takes a little longer to recoup, but there's still. It'll be back to $100,000 by the end of the year, probably.
What was the total?
Sounds like you're making money.
Chassis and the approximately.
About $165,846.
Okay.
We got a discount by buying the chassis up front. Saved us about $2,000. Now, even though I bought the chassis in September, which was great that we did, we're still getting a 2027 chassis. So they're not making money on that deal, I guarantee you. So we came out okay in that deal. A new truck would be about, for this size of truck, this is one of the bigger ones, would be about $400,000. And about 400. So this is going to be basically a brand new truck. They take it apart, redo everything, put it all back together, painted, new chassis, redo the box. So that's what we're at.
Why did it take so long to get it?
Just like everything else, COVID.
Are you talking about the person behind him?
Oh, it did. We used to take us, used to be about a 9-month turnaround. Now it's taken this long for everything to still get caught up. Yeah.
Okay.
So just been waiting this long. They did have there was a little bit of a delay because they had their painting where they get the trucks painted up in, God, I can't remember the name of town. Anyway, it's almost on the Michigan line. They had a fire. So
you're not missing anything, Alva.
Too. So this we were hoping to have had this in back in like November, but that slowed things down just a bit. But the most of it is it's just never recovered from COVID yet. It's taken that long to get everything caught back up because I mean everything came to a stop there for almost a year. So
we're going to get a new truck shortly.
Yep, I'll have it back here. Like I said, about 6 weeks. I'm expecting it to be done.
And then are we also anticipating taking another truck that we currently have and running it back through?
Yep, I'll have another one. I'll probably do that in about October-ish, around budget time. Just fill in some spice,
Any anticipated expense?
It'll be about the same, probably in the 180 range. So
any time? What do you think time-wise it's going to take to do?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, because what they told me the last 3 trucks has not even been close to what they told me when we started, but it is what it is. I can't, you know. So we used to get this done at Braun, and they were running like I don't know, half a year longer than the place we're doing now. So, I mean, it's been so long. I bought the stuff from Crossroads, and they've been sold out to McQueen, Michigan. Same people, same place, new owner. So that might actually speed things along.
Other questions? Roll call, please, Ed.
Ms. Flanagan.
Yes.
Mr. Wyatt.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Mokel.
Yes.
Spookout.
Yes.
Scantz.
Yes.
Ms. Hughes.
Yes. Thanks, Mike.
Now,
4910 capital improvements, 311 contractual services, 88,000 for a total of 88,000. Move to approve.
Second. Motion by Jessica, second by Dan.
so this is to cover bills that I found after the office manager resigned, hidden in various places. A lot of them weren't even opened, just unopened mail, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm hoping you all read my email and I sent to you. I tried to explain it the best I could. That's just scratching the surface, but basically I paid about that much out in 26 money for 25, but everything.
All right, let's go back and listen to that. What
got a
was
little bit
that?
more to
What
pay
was
to
this he
bounce
said?
it. Same people, same place, new owner. So that might actually speed things along. Now,
Listen.
4910 capital improvements, 311 contractual services, 88,000 for a total of 88,000. Move to approve.
Second. Motion by Jessica, second by Dan.
Listen.
so this is to cover bills that I found after the office manager resigned, hidden in various places. A lot of them weren't even opened, just unopened mail, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm hoping you all read my email and I sent to you. I tried to explain it the best I could.
I
That's
need to
just
get that
scratching the
email.
surface, but basically I paid about that much out in 26 money for 25, but everything, I've got a little bit more to pay to Boundtree Medical, but I'll have that finished up this month. So then I'll be completely square. So to get through 26, I need to replenish my money. The good news for you guys is I was told like less than 20 grand went back to the general fund at the end of the year. It was more like 70 or 80. I don't have an exact number because there's found 2 sets of books, but nonetheless. So that money went back to the general fund.
2 sets of books.
Capital improvements. So it's no impact on you guys, and whatever I got left over will go back into the general. So
what?
Trying to keep the impacts to a minimum. Does that make sense?
Wait.
Okay. All right.
How does this one get funded?
What'd he say?
Basically, I paid about that much out in 26 money for 25, but everything, I've got a little bit more to pay to Boundtree Medical, but I'll have that finished up this month. So then I'll be completely square. So to get through 26, I need to replenish my money. The good news for you guys is I was told like less than 20 grand went back to the general fund at the end of the year. It was more like 70 or 80. I don't have an exact number because there's found 2 sets of books, but nonetheless.
He did say that. He did say that.
And she told him there was only 20,000, but there was actually 70 or 80,000 that rolled over from last year to this year. What plans did she have for that 50,000?
Yeah, right. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that they booted her ass out the door when they did.
I'm just kind of gobsmacked over 2 sets of books.
Yeah, now listen, everybody. I did not watch this day. I was going to talk about something. I really didn't have much of a show tonight, and I had a viewer. You know who you are. You're out there. I had a viewer call me a little bit before the show started and said, "Hey, did you watch the council meeting today?" And I said, "No, I was going to, but I haven't had a chance." And she said, "Well, there's this and this and this. You might want to watch it." And I was like, "Okay, let's listen." And so we did. I'm listening to this with you for the first time, so I'm learning all of this crap at the same time you are, and this is like real reactions. 2 sets of books. So now my question is, do you think the county council, which is the fiscal body of the county, is going to react and say anything to this? Or are they going to blow over this without saying anything? And here's the thing, love him or hate him, I guarantee you, if Ryan Webb were sitting on that council and he heard 2 sets of books, he would have made some kind of a stink about it. I just want to hear, do you think the council will say something about that or not? Let's hear.
So that money went back to the general fund. I'm trying to take it out of capital improvements, so it's no impact on you guys, and whatever I got left over will go back into the general. So trying to keep the impacts to a minimum. Does that make sense?
Yep, a couple
Okay.
questions.
All right.
How does this one get funded? The capital improvement
It
fund
gets 15 grand a month from revenue.
that you guys bring in?
Mhm.
Okay. And is it okay that,
Yes, there's an ordinance. Eugene can vouch for me, because we had a problem last year with the 4910 account. It's capital improvement, is its title, but it says in the ordinance can be used for any operational needs for this to sustain the service.
Okay.
One very important sentence in that. So
Other questions? Roll call, please.
Ms. Flanagan.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Piper.
No other questions. I'm writing that down too. 4910. 2 books. 4910. Delaware County. What a joke.
Mr. Mokel.
Yes.
Mr. Bookout.
Yes.
Mr. Cantz.
yes,
Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
There's one more, I think.
One more. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's just
Couple.
connected.
Couple more.
We're in major transfers, 4910 capital improvements to 155 EMS, 4910 311 contractual services, -7.
So Karen did all of the council members. Basically, you can't having 2 sets of books in government in anything is bad. That's like you at your house having your budget at your house, how much money comes in monthly and how much money goes out monthly. And you start going on a crazy spending spree and doing whatever the hell you want to do and spending however, but you fudge the numbers in one book to make people think, oh, everything's okay, but yet you're like wildly out of debt. There, when you have 2 sets of books, let me tell you, there's no legit reason why you would have 2 sets of books. And now, of course, we know that things like this are going to happen. We know there's an investigation into this. There's 2 people have been suspended. One person's been fired, and the state police is investigating. But the fact that we just have no questions from the council about this is crazy to me. Oh, where were you at? What were you saying, Kate?
I was just getting ready to come on to say about, the EMS lady that they are investigating for, double dipping and all kinds of wonky stuff. But apparently she was dipping and just not paying stuff. $8,000 of unpaid bills.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all connected.
78,000. This is to 155 311 contractual services, +35,000. 351 utility services electric, +20,000. 356 utility services internet, +8,000. 363 repairs and maintenance vehicle, +10,000. 380 repairs and maintenance building EMS, +5,000. Total transfer 0. Move to approve.
Second. Motion by Jessica, second by Dan.
That was kind of the breakdown of the 88, but there's the 10 grand. I'm not sure all this works. These guys help me out tremendously. But there's the 10 grand of the 88 is going to go into medical supplies. Medical supplies. So. is
No,
that
we're
all?
on the one above that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
The
all part of the
78 and the
88.
10
I just didn't know if that needed a separate vote. It's separate on my sheet, so.
Mike, once all the financial situation is quantified with your department, will you be able to come back and update the council on the situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I think
I would love to talk right now, but I probably better not. So.
I think it would be for transparency purposes.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. So, and you can call me anytime.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
So are we good on this 10 grand going to the?
We're on the one
We're
above
on the
it.
one above it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
The
all part of the
78 and the
88.
10
I just didn't know if that needed a separate vote. It's separate on my sheet, so.
Mike, once all the financial situation is quantified with your department, will you be able to come back and update the council on the situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would be
I would love to talk right now, but I probably better not.
So book out talking like a church mouse. I just wish every single person in every man or woman, young or old, would realize that they are in a position of, they're supposed to be in a position, there's public servants. People look at them as being in a position of authority, but man or woman up and speak like you know how to speak, enunciate, and be loud and be heard. But here, Bookout is like a church mouse saying, once everything is figured out, once everything happens the way that it's supposed to happen, will you come back and give us a rundown of where everything is and what all happened? And to Mike's credit, he says yes. Now, I feel sorry for him a certain extent, and I'm upset with him a certain extent. So Mike Ashley is not an office manager. He is a paramedic. He became a paramedic. He's not an accountant. He's not there to run the books. He's supposed to be counting on the people who he has in those positions. Now, he's still supposed to be watching over them and making sure that they're not doing crazy things. And he's supposed to have enough wherewithal of the surroundings to know this looks right, this doesn't look right, this is okay, this isn't okay, to be able to maybe watch what's happening there. And that's very much why he got punished. Mike was suspended in all of this. And so he did get some punishment out of it. But I think that when this happens, I think maybe we need someone to come in and explain what happened with the Delaware County funds, the taxpayers' funds, and what's happening to rectify this and to get justice for this and to try and recoup some of what was lost. So that needs to be happening. Yeah, you're right. He is not qualified to be speaking on this, and he shouldn't be. But I still wish the counselors were asking questions, putting questions on the record, even if he didn't answer them because he can't technically right now and shouldn't be. I wish that it looked like the council was asking questions. And here's what Matt Kantz is going to say. Well, we do behind the scenes. I don't give a shit what goes on behind the scenes. Okay. Matter of fact, I specifically don't want to know what goes on behind the scenes.
I think it would be transparent.
They need the State Board of Accounts.
Absolutely,
Yes, Kate.
100%. So, and you can call me anytime. So are we good on this 10 grand going to the?
We're on the
We're on the
one
one above it.
Oh, sorry.
Do we have in situations like this, do we have an outside auditor that might come in and re-audit the books to make sure that in fact they're good to go?
My new office manager is going to be coming from the auditor's office, so we're going to work on that. I think we're in pretty good
Are you
shape.
fucking kidding me?
Most of it was just
Yeah, I'm
unpaid.
not happy about that.
bills.
That
And from what I
that's
understand, a
great.
lot of
The
those are
auditor's
in the
office that
VIP
admits
system
they can't
interactive.
keep up. They can't even keep up with
I
fucking
didn't know how
minutes,
that
and you're
worked
going to
till now.
trust them to
Good
go
idea,
through these
but
books. I
Yeah.
wouldn't trust them with
there was no reason.
my
The
personal
money was there. I
checkbook.
don't have an answer
Forget an
for it. I take full
entire
responsibility
department
for it,
in
but
government.
I don't have an answer for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Other questions? Roll call, please.
Ms. Flanagan.
Yes.
Ms. Wyatt.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Ms. Mokel.
Yes.
Mr. Bookout.
Yes.
Mr. Cantz.
Yes.
Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
4910 capital improvements to 4920 medical supplies, 4910 311 contractual services negative 10,000, 4920 medical supplies positive 10,000, total transfer zero.
Second. Motion by Jessica, second by Dan. Here's the medical supplies.
yes, this one, this gets 10 grand a month from revenue. Didn't have as much in there as I was told we had in there in January, but nonetheless, one of the reasons this account had taken a hit is because we started a new program called Hentevi. It's a pediatrics program. It's kind of hard to explain. It's protocols. It's becoming a new national standard. So we're in it. Hopefully the state's going to start paying for it, but that costs us a pretty good chunk to get that established. But it's on your phone. You click in, it's going to tell you everything about that pediatric patient, drugs,
Yeah, right,
all
Gate.
that stuff. So it's kind of like having that in the palm of your hand. Because if you've never done that call before, it's pretty stressful. But nonetheless, this is a great thing. It really makes a difference. We also weren't allowed to get our controlled drugs anymore at the hospitals. This is a statewide thing, so we had to get a state pharmacy license. Then after that, we had to get certified by the DEA to get a DEA license so that we can get our own narcotics. It's a huge secured thing that we have to go through to get these narcotics, except for when they send them back to us FedEx along with the toilet paper and everything else. Crazy. But anyway, that cost us a chunk of money last year to get that taken care of, but we're all good to go there. And I had about $8,000 worth of uncashed checks that needed to go back into that account. So I'm working to try to get that back, but same deal. Those people, the Salem Township and Hamilton Township Fire, bought supplies from us, paid us back, but checks never got back into the account. So I'm working to try to get some of that money recouped. So I'm going to put this 10 grand into that account just to help us get through. Plus things are costing a little bit more. We may have to look at that down the road anyway. So
Mike, have all the questionable transactions been identified, or are you still discovering stuff?
no, I think we've pretty much got a handle. I can't promise you 100%, but I didn't see any. Well, I can't. Never mind. So yes.
Other questions?
I'd like to mention, I appreciate you trying to find the money within instead of coming to 1,000.
Yeah.
So checks were delivered, checks were cashed, but not entered into the system.
Nope.
weren't even cash.
It's
They
called
weren't in cash.
winning cash. It's quietus, right? Yep. That's a challenging process.
Oh,
in itself for
God.
somebody like me, but nonetheless, I figured it out. So
I apologize, MLM.
none of those they're all, what are they?
Expired.
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah. But I'm working with Salem Township and Hamilton Township to try to recoup the cost.
Somewhere their books couldn't have balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, we've already identified what wasn't cash, but they're in a new year too, so we got to do some work to try to. Somebody's going to have to stand up somewhere like I'm standing up here right now to take care of last year. So that's on there. So
Other questions? Roll call, please.
Ms. Flanagan.
Yes.
About last
Ms.
year.
Wyatt.
Yes.
Last
Piper.
year.
Yes.
Ms. How long
Mokel.
has this woman been in that office?
Bookout.
Yes.
Hold on, let me back this up.
Yes.
What did you say, Kate?
Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
They keep saying last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long was that woman in that position?
Oh, years.
So I think they need to be going a hell of a lot further back than just last year.
Yeah. Now, let me think about this. There was someone in the position that was like overseeing it. I think she's only been in the position where she could have been doing this maybe for the last 3, because I think somebody was in there that was kind of like an overseer that left. And I don't think there was a problem before that, but I think once that overseer left, then it was like, it's on.
Apparently.
This is crazy. I didn't even know. I knew this was a little part. I thought he would have been done by now, but this has been a shit show.
Well, thank you very much. Please reach out to me at any time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
129 sheriff to 155 EMS.
Okay.
129, 363 repair and maintenance.
For the entire program, but again, as the rules have evolved, we believe it's in our best interest and the suggestion of the State Board of Accounts to capture all 3 years.
Questions?
Have we made a motion to approve it yet?
No.
No, motion.
Payroll process, to segregation of duties.
Okay, here we go.
Approved.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Jessica.
Here's the
second
big
by
thing,
Dan.
ladies and gentlemen.
Ed, do you want to address this?
Sure. So essentially what this resolution's for is to protect the public funds. It's the bottom line. But there's outlines described in here that addresses concerns we have about the payroll process, to segregation of duties, and other things that are outlined in this resolution to address going forward.
So some of the key pieces of this are the segregation of duties, as Ed mentioned, puts in a 3-level payroll control structure. There's preparation, there's approval, and then review and processing. Dual approval requirements. So all department payroll submissions must include a certification by the payroll preparer, and then approval by department head or elected official, which I think Eugene
They didn't do this before?
talk about. But then number 2 is the preparer shall not serve as the approving authority, which is the biggest change, in my opinion.
What?
What?
And then there's some self-pay controls about, inability.
Why
to
wasn't
adjust
this a
your own
thing
pay
years
level,
ago?
And then an auditor review requirement.
Like from the beginning of time.
as well.
Yeah.
And then there's a section in here relative to a time clock. If there is a time clock in place, I assume, Ed, that means,
Yes,
which currently only one department has a time clock system.
correct.
I don't even know who that would be.
And then,
What?
Eugene, you want to talk about the approval by the department head or elected official?
If I may, I'd like to start somewhere else, Matt.
Okay.
In section 5, number 2, which is on page 2 of the handout that we received, it says no individual shall approve their own payroll. I believe that should say no individual shall prepare and approve their own payroll. But I'd like to get clarification from either legal or the auditor
What?
regarding that.
We prepare or
Prepare and.
and.
I mean, as I am reading this,
I can't.
an elected official or department head is going to approve, or as we get into it later, an appointed person, but going to approve the entire payroll, being the second set of eyes on it. So in reality, they will be approving possibly their own payroll. And the way I think these self-pay controls should read is they're not going to be able to prepare and approve it both. Now, whether it says it somewhere else in here, I just think specifically there, it needs to state it as well. But like I said, I'd like to get clarification from either legal or the auditor on why it's written that way specifically.
Yeah. That's very strange.
In terms of the intent behind the resolution, I didn't draft it, so I'd have to defer to the auditor's office, but I believe the structure is supposed to be such that
an individual from the department inputs everything into the system, but then they can't, there has to be somebody that reviews it, signs off on it afterward, which is presumably going to be the department head or the elected official. So to your point, they wouldn't be inputting the numbers, but they would be approving their own pay. So I think your, unless Ed feels otherwise, but I think your correction or amendment makes sense. They would, somebody has to ultimately say this is approved and press the button, which would include their own payroll.
And what is your opinion? Well, if someone else is entering it, at some point in time, someone has to hit the button and submit pay. Everybody's got to get paid.
What?
What language are you? So
what language are you speaking?
I do have another suggestion, so we can take them under advisement, or we can amend it and pass it back to them.
But what are we amending? I'm confused.
I would like to, if add language to it, that's amending it.
No, I know, but what is it you want to amend?
But
Or
in
what do you want
line
it to
2, I'd
say?
like to specifically say, no individual shall prepare and approve their own payroll.
So to me, that's just plain devil's advocate. Because to Ben's point, in most departments, they're preparing their own payroll by providing a self-prepared timesheet or spreadsheet that they fill out, or whatever the manual process is today, because we don't have time clocks that clock in and out. So it is a honor system as it stands today, right? So does preparing the payroll mean they've documented their hours and turned them in? I guess is my question, because if it is, then that means they can't do that anymore. So that would be that's why I'm confused, because I think the process is broken as it is. This is a way to it's a stopgap to try to prevent fraud, but ultimately without time clocks, people are still self-preparing their own hours. Am I wrong about that, Ed?
I think it's pretty. The issue goes away once you put time clocks in.
Right, but I mean, in terms of Eugene's request for the language change, are we saying that people then can't create their own time card or their own time sheet?
They can't create it and then also approve it. Which, I mean, there should be redundancies in there, which the rest of it says that way, that you can't, if it specifically says you can't approve your own payroll, then it also should say you can't approve and prepare it.
Right, I'm trying to get clarity on preparation. What is?
So are
preparing
they.
their own time?
This is insane.
And if it's just simply they can't put it into VIP, that seems totally logical. If you can't create your own time card, that was what I'm trying to get. Maybe
it needs to be a little more clear then on preparing and approving in our payroll system.
Yeah.
Ed, if I can ask a question quick, in section 9, it contemplates the auditor's office developing a comprehensive.
Why is the attorney not speaking into the damn microphone?
Is that plan going to define some of these terms that may resolve
Well,
some of the questions?
the workflow will address it. I mean, currently we have it set up so that the person who enters it, the cruiser, can't be the same person. It won't allow the same person to.
The person who puts it in VIP can't be the same person that approves it.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Before it gets to our office.
Right. Okay. And if that's the definition, then that's probably, to his point, correct.
So that's the wording you want installed in this clause, is what you said.
I think if it's going to say you can't approve your own, I think it should say prepare and approve, or it needs to be taken out. I think Eugene's point makes sense, because you're going to have an issue where the department head may not be inputting their own payroll into the system, but as it's currently written, they wouldn't be able to approve the payroll entry for themselves that was input by somebody else, because they can't approve their own pay. So currently, everybody would be able to get paid except for the person signing off on the overall approval. And that's why I asked about definitions, because some of these terms, like payroll preparation.
This is ridiculous.
To Matt's point, does that mean
putting it into the system, or does that mean literally filling out?
This
the
is
time card?
broken government,
Some of these
ladies and
probably
gentlemen.
Need to be defined so that we can know specifically.
I think they're looking at Pizza King
when
menus.
individuals engaging in that activity that might trigger a prohibition or something. But that's a great example, Ben, because ultimately, let's say Nancy puts in the payroll and she puts her own in there. She can't approve it, but she does everybody's payroll, including her own. So she's preparing it and it gets approved upstream. If we say we can't prepare it, then she wouldn't be able to put her own payroll in. Somebody else will have to do that too. That seems like an undue burden, I would
I'm
think.
saying that she could put her own in there, but then somebody else has to approve it. Or if she's the approver,
You are, but you're
somebody
saying-
else puts her time information in.
Right, that's
and
a-
then she's
that's an extra step.
and hers, and then she's responsible for approving it. It says here that she can't approve their own, her own payroll.
It says she can't approve it, but you want to add that she can't prepare her own payroll either.
That she can't both prepare
Can't do
and
both.
approve.
That was the and.
I'm not saying or, I'm saying and.
It
One
sure
person
says
can't
always
do
two
both.
people.
which I believe is
Karen.
The intent of this.
I'm agreeing with you.
And I guess, my other suggestion is going to throw even bigger monkey wrench into it. Maybe I should have started with that one. And I got this, I wish our sheriff was still here, but based off of his explanation of payroll, he didn't want to be burdened with it because there's already 3 sets of entry information that goes into it for time. But in section 4, as well as section 1, it states that approval by the department head or elected official. And I would recommend, based off of the sheriff's testimony, that we add appointed or approved individual.
This is nuts.
In that specific line.
Not necessarily just the department head or elected official.
Right.
Somebody assigned.
But
to
the
do
way
this.
I read it anyway is you're gonna have a second person that can do this approval anyway, because if that elected official or department head is on vacation or sick or out for a significant time, you have to have at least a second person to be able to do this.
So in section 4, item 1, the second bullet point, if it said approval by the department head or elected official or designee,
I'm fine with that. Whatever covers what the intent is on what I think the sheriff was asking for.
are you moving to amend the resolution to make those 2 changes? Section 5, 2, to read no individual shall prepare and approve their own payroll. Section 4, paragraph 1, bullet point 2, approval by the department head.
This
or
is
elected official
nuts.
Or designee. That's your motion.
There may be more.
Oh, there may be more.
In section 5, number 1, it says payroll entries affecting the payroll preparer's compensation must receive explicit review and approval by the department head or elected official. I think or designee should be added there as well.
Be there as well.
And then that would be all the amendments that I would like to suggest
Okay.
as a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion by Eugene, second by Jessica. Comments on those amendments?
I mean, maybe I'm just not smart, but I'm still.
Yes.
I still think it's a burden on number 2 to add. Shall prepare.
And approval by the department head or elected official. I think or designee should be added there as well.
Be there as well.
And then that'd be all the amendments that I would like to suggest as a motion.
Is there a second?
Here it goes.
Second it.
Motion by Eugene, second by Jessica. Comments on those amendments?
I mean, maybe I'm just not smart, but I'm still. I
Gold.
still think it's a burden on number 2 to add. Shall prepare and approve their own payroll.
It just means it's 2 sets of eyes you're gonna have to look at.
Right.
Is the intent.
But I guess from a real use case scenario, that's what I'm trying to understand. So again, back to the Nancy example, sorry, Nancy. But since you have a large payroll, in her case, who prepares her payroll? Nancy?
The entire payroll or
No,
just-
her payroll.
Just her.
Somebody else will have to prepare her payroll explicitly. Or let's say in Gavin's case, he's got, Rhiannon is creating it, and he has to create
If
his own.
you had
Yeah,
time clocks, then you'd have somebody
how
who
does that-
was in
how does that
charge of
work?
just
Because,
reading the time clocks and
again, we're
plugging that
adding another
information
person into the
in.
equation.
Yeah.
And then you'd have the department head just go, dink, yep, that's good.
Yeah.
But we don't have time clocks. We go on an honor system. And trust that people aren't committing fraud that way by adding half an hour a week to their time.
This is nuts.
This is the most ignorant bullshit.
This is worse than Muncie city government.
How much money are you guys hemorrhaging
Yeah, right.
over stupid shit? And the
they
only
wanted-
reason
they
came
wanted
up
a
is because you
tax
got
just last
fleeced
week.
for over 100,000.
And they wanted a tax. Just create a new tax last week.
Yeah. Yeah. You're hemorrhaging money because you're dumb. And you're only concerned about it now because it's going to be front page news because some crazy bitch in there decided to fleece the county for over 100,000 over a time span.
Got caught. Yeah.
So now we're worried about nickeling and diming it.
Yeah.
So we're going to argue about wordage.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
you.
And it's rough.
To that. So
So
I'm
Nancy
just trying to be-
prepares her time card. One of the captains or sheriff, first deputy would be responsible for it.
But then a third person would then also have to approve it because that same person who prepared it would be
She
approved.
can't prepare and approve.
She
She can
can't, I know.
prepare
Yes,
or she can approve,
right.
but she can't do both.
She can't do her own. Correct. That's what I'm getting at.
She can't put it
approve
in
her own.
and approve it. She can put it in,
She can put it in.
but she can't approve it. That's why it's in.
Sure. No.
Okay. Not or.
No.
This is not difficult.
I know, that's what I'm getting at.
The department head puts them in, or somebody puts them in. The department head signs off on it. The department head stuff gets signed off on by the auditor's office.
Right. That's
Just
okay. Then
bump it up the chain of command.
Then who signs off on the auditor? Well, he's salary,
He's salaried,
so that wouldn't matter.
so it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Yeah.
Rocket science. And everybody in the comments is over here giving suggestions that make more sense than this drivel they're bullshitting about.
Yeah.
And why is he screwing Nancy? I'm just wondering because he keeps bringing up Nancy.
Who?
Can't. He keeps
Yeah.
talking about Nancy.
Well,
Nancy.
she's the
Who's
one
gonna
that's up
prove
at the.
her?
She just happens to be the one up at the podium, but you know.
Oh, she's the one at the. Okay, I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense then that he would reference her. It's just
Yeah.
who's gonna approve poor Nancy?
Right. Joe is right. It's not their money. They don't care. Straight ticket voting and trans Republicans project protect them, and that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I don't think I've ever seen such stupid inane.
This is bad. This is really bad.
But his comment though, I guess I'm just not that smart.
Yeah.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
that's the first smart thing you've said the entire meeting.
Yeah. And you know what? And this is what frustrates me when I get up at the city council in the Muncie City Council and the county council and county commissioners, and I'm up there to tell these people I don't think that you guys should go home happy with yourselves. I don't think you're doing a good job. You shouldn't be patting yourselves on the back. You're not doing a good job. And they sit there smugly and proudly, like just, giving me the middle finger. And you got counselors saying, yes, we do. And they're shaking their head, violently back and forth, disagreeing with me. And I'm like, no, look, here's my exhibit A. Here's my exhibit B. Here's my exhibit double Z. I mean, I've got so much to show. how these people are just shitting the bed completely.
So what happens, whether it's the road or the jail? Yes, the jail all goes in on the time clock. All those time clock readings then get sent to Angel Brashear. Angel Brashear puts all the time into the time clock, including her own, into the payroll system. I understand what we're getting ready to do now. So she's our inputter. We now have 2 other people who can approve. Once all her stuff is done, then she has to hand everything off to them. They have to go through it and they have to approve it to submit it off. On our side, the road guys do their
4
time.
days.
They're on the schedule. Their leaders take and approve their time, which then goes to Captain Johnson. And Captain Johnson then inputs all of it into payroll. Now we're going to have another person then who's going to look over it again. So ours actually gets 3 sets of eyes across it already before it's submitted. I only do my 3 people, including my own, yes, in the sheriff's office, but then that also goes to Captain Johnson for him to have to approve. And then it still can't be submitted until a 3rd person looks at it with this new process. So we are already doing 3.
So if we changed it to you cannot prepare and approve your own payroll.
That's
So
really,
you would just prepare your own payroll? And then somebody else will approve it going forward.
really, that's what you're doing now.
Right, that is
Yep.
what I'm doing now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, granted, yes, I am putting in for my payroll and the 2 people that are under me. But then Captain Johnson has to actually submit it into the system.
Okay.
And it has to get approved then by a 3rd person.
I didn't realize
If
jail
I
used time
may
clocks. That's
make
great.
a point
Yeah,
real
in the
quick.
jail.
As we're listening here, you're already hearing that the elected official or department head is not the approving person.
Right.
So adding designee, I think, is important to this.
Yes. All right. Thanks for sticking with me there.
Sure. Are those preparers currently now of those payrolls, are they bonded in any way?
No.
No.
Kevin, you
Gavin Green, Delaware County Coroner. The one thing that I just wanted to, by definition, and understand is prepare, because we are, and again, it's going to be, I think the system, what we're trying to change, I think it's good. But the whole definition of prepare, meaning, are they clocking in and clocking out? Is that the preparation right there? Or is it just looking in VIP to make sure that it's the whole thing of prepare? That's where I'm getting confused, because if we have an employee that's clocking in and clocking out, preparing it is entering all of that report into VIP. That's where I'm confused about, because I know that HR or I can approve Rhiannon's time. But the whole definition of prepare and approve that's where I'm a little confused about. So the whole, they can't prepare and approve, that I don't know who is preparing and approving their own. Like, I don't approve my own, but mine gets put in on VIP and Rhiannon submits it. So
For those
So
of you
we'll
that might
need the
not know, this
definition
is
of prepare
the
thing.
elected coroner.
Basically, from my understanding, Eugene.
Gavin
will
Green.
Correct me, is that it's who's inputting it into VIP would be the preparer. Is that what we're alluding to?
I believe that's the definition we've received. Is that
because preparing, if I were to put in that Rhiannon worked 90 hours, I prepared her timesheet and I approved it. Well, that goes against the whole approving system right there, because I could be falsifying it right there.
Yeah.
So you can't prepare and approve.
Right,
So
she
that's,
would have to prepare it, and you would have to approve.
and then it's on the whoever the approver was.
Yes,
Okay.
that's my understanding of the intent here that Eugene's asking for.
Right.
Separating duties. One person puts it in to VIP, another person looks it over and says, yes, Brianna worked 120 hours.
Right.
So the
That's
bottom
right,
line
4
is,
days.
because we don't have time clocks, this is the issue. That's part of the reason we'll be come to you in reference to time clocks. This all becomes a key point.
Yeah.
Because the process will establish. So we can play
Devil's advocate.
dictionary all day long, define all these terms. At the end of the day, if we put time clocks in, fix it.
Does the jail time card system flow to VIP?
But the new
I
system.
think I remember that being an issue before. So is it only the highway department that? Goes to DOT? Does that go to DOT?
It currently doesn't. It supposedly can, but it doesn't.
Purpose.
That's where we're looking at a new system.
And then to play devil's advocate, I know that each department's going to be, I think that we need something in place, but sheriff's department's going to be different, highway department's going to be different, coroner's office is going to be different. So if we say, hey, as soon as we put in a time clock system, that's going to help. All of my deputies do not clock in and clock out. They're on a per case basis. So we don't know, then we'll be preparing / submitting and approving.
Well, even time card systems have manual
Right,
abilities. So,
all right, thank you.
Hi, Tanya Dunsmore, Chief Deputy Auditor. I think a more proper word instead of prepare is submit. One person submits and then it's approved. Just like Nancy, she enters it into the system. However, she has to hit the submit button for the approver to be able to see it and approve it.
And section 4, paragraph 1 says all departmental payroll submissions must include certification by the preparer and approval by the department head or.
I hate that it had to come from Tanya, but it.
Designate. So submission seems to be the first step,
Mm-hmm.
and then approval is the second step.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that's actually much better definition because that's the actual.
And enter into
If you had
the
a flow
financial
chart, It
system.
would be prepare, would be submit, because that's
Mhm.
what triggers the.
Because I think for your sake, Matt, prepare to you, you're thinking of the individual who actually does their time sheet. And I understand that concept as well. So
So if we change in section 3, line 1, payroll preparation to payroll submission, that clarify it? Ed, what do you think?
Would say that section one more time, Bill.
Section 3, line 1 says the county adopts a 3-level payroll control structure. Line 1 would be payroll submission, which would be the department level. Number 2, payroll approval, which would be department head or elected official, and we want to put or designee in there, I assume.
Correct.
And then 3 is independent review and processing by county auditor.
And then in section 4, number 1, all department payroll submissions must include certification by the payroll submitter.
Yeah, Danny.
Okay.
And then 2, the submitter.
Submitter.
Down to section 5, it also says, so section 5, bullet 1, affecting the payroll submitter's compensation.
And then number 2, instead of saying prepare and approve, say submit and approve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Section
ladies
2.
and gentlemen, this is
Five, no.
this is not this is the perfect example of broken government. This is not good government. And I know they're going to say, well, we were fighting for this and we, having this. This is nonsensical. Nobody can take a look at this and say, yay, yes, I'm glad they're here doing this. Thank you, Matt Kantz. Thank you, Dan Flanagan. Thank you, Bradley Bookout. Thank you, Eugene Whitehead. Thank you, whatever these other dickheads' names are. This is bad, 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 bad. It's bad. It's dumb. It's boring. It's stupid. It's nonsensical. It's everything that you can say about it. This is nonsense.
Number 2 is original.
Section 2, work preparations should be submission.
Yeah, Kate.
Okay, what I have at this point, the following changes. Section 2 under applicability. Read, this resolution applies to all county departments, offices, and personnel involved in payroll submission, approval, processing, and review. Section 3 would read, the county adopts a 3-level payroll control structure. Number 1, payroll submission, department level. Number 2, payroll approval, department head or elected official or designee. Number 3, independent review and processing, county auditor. Section 4, line 1 reads, all departmental payroll submissions must include certification by the payroll submitter and approval by the department head or elected official or designee. Number 2 would read, the submitter shall not serve as the approving authority. Section 5, number 1 would read, payroll entries affecting the payroll submitter's compensation must receive explicit review and approval by the department head or elected official or designee. Line 2 would be, no individual shall prepare and shall submit and approve their own payroll. That's all the changes I have.
Because we're modifying all these, one suggestion. It's a reference to contact last week with the
Are they
auditor.
going to have another 20-minute conversation about how it is that the auditor knows who the designee might be if it's not a department?
Yeah.
That was their recommendation.
Is that for all submitters and approvers?
If you're involved with touching money. That was the answer. Again, you're not touch the funds, then it should be. Because each elected official has the body. And I was told a year ago that people in my office would fall under that. But now they're saying anyone handling funds should be bonded. It's a fairly inexpensive investment to make for your county.
It's really archaic right now because Indiana code requires members of the county redevelopment commission who don't touch the money to be bonded. But repairs of payroll are not required by Indiana code. It's just a recommendation. So I agree with you that it should be taking place. I don't know what the cost is, but
I was going to say, I would think we would need to have a conversation with our carrier regarding cost and process, how to get all those.
I think it extends beyond what we're discussing here today to do that action, receive quotes and understand who's in place to do that.
I agree.
And how many will be eliminated when we actually have time cards?
Yeah, it might be cheaper to buy time box.
Yeah.
If you would look into that for us, Ed, we'd appreciate it. I think we could add that in later. Consensus here?
Yes,
I think
it's just a recommendation.
There are still ways that someone can misappropriate.
Oh, this is,
funding.
yeah.
So
this is one minor step.
I think it's a legitimate conversation all the way around.
Agreed.
Did you have something, Tanya?
Yes, Tanya Dunsmore, Chief Deputy Auditor. Mr. Hughes, I just wanted to question what you just read as far as Section 5, number 2. You said no individual shall prepare and submit and approve.
Submit or approve. Submit and approve.
Okay.
Submit and approve.
I did hear all 3, so I was just like questioning that to
stuttered,
make sure.
suspect.
Thank you.
Go ahead and approve.
Is there a motion to amend Joint Resolution 2026-101 with the amendments as I read them?
Can those just be friendly amendments to what I
Sure.
already added?
Go for it.
I'd like to include those as friendly changes to my motion to amend.
No, I'll close those into my second, yeah.
Okay, we have on the floor a motion to amend 2026-101 as read.
Let's hear
Any
what
other
happens.
questions? Roll call on the amendment.
Ms. Flanagan.
Yes.
Mr. Whitehead.
Yes.
Mr. Mokel.
Yes.
Mr. Bookout.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Cantz.
Yes.
Mr. Hughes.
Yes. Now we're back on Joint Resolution 2026-101 as amended.
Now listen to this.
Questions or comments? This will go back to the commissioners for them to agree to our changes. Roll call, please.
Yeah, Alva.
Mr. Flanagan.
Yes.
Mr. Whitehead.
Yes.
Mr. Mokel.
Yes.
Mr. Bookout.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Cantz.
Yes.
Mr. Hughes.
Yes. Good discussion. Now we have joint resolution 2026-100, a joint resolution of the Delaware County Council and Delaware County Board of Commissioners authorizing a countywide financial and administrative system modernization initiative, quote, one touch, close quote, to strengthen financial controls, audit compliance, and transparency. Is there a motion to adopt joint resolution 2026-100?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Jessica, second by Dan. Discussion.
There were some questions about credit card authorization, credit card purchases. Did we get those clarified?
This is.
What do you mean?
Seemed like you're asking. Anyway.
Yes,
basically,
yes, Alva.
They couldn't put something on the credit card until they had an approval for you for your department. Or,
We don't pre-approve credit card use. It's outlined in the ordinance.
okay, that's what I thought, but then there was some question about this language and that language contradicting each other. But I didn't see it in here and I wanted to make sure.
I don't know where that would be. That's the reason I asked for clarification, is that I don't know where it actually says anything like that there.
Okay.
Yeah, do we have a presentation on the one touch that we might?
Yes, we do.
Be an appropriate time.
They don't pre-approve credit card usage?
Please.
Yeah, I guess.
What?
Yeah.
If I'm going to spend, I've never had a job where if I was going to spend more than like X amount of money, I didn't have to ask my boss if that was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some bills that are fine, the electric bill, pay it.
Sure.
But if I'm going to order a $200 printer, I need to get permission before I spend that money. But they don't do that?
Well, I would think that they come. I mean, they come to if they don't have the money in their accounts, if they have to come to the council. But if they've got money in like their line item for expenditures,
I know that. But for every Tom, Dick, and Carrie running around carrying a credit card, they can just use them for whatever they want to. They don't have to ask if it's going to be more than a certain amount of money.
I thought they did. That's what I thought it was supposed to be. That's what they're trying to shore up right now in 2026. You see how ridiculous this is?
Am I insane?
Dude.
That would just be SOP. You can't just use the card for whatever the fuck you want to. If you need to go get a pack of pencils, go get a pack of pencils. But don't go buy the $800 neon basement sign.
Yeah.
Without asking. I do not understand how these people do
I haven't watched a Delaware County Council meeting in several months, and this is like dumb.
There are no stop gaps in place at all to protect taxpayer money. None. And we're going to try to come up with them all in one meeting? What are these people doing?
This is ludicrous. This is nuts.
Please introduce yourself and identify your company. And
Absolutely. While I'm setting this up, we were here last week, so thank you for welcoming us back. We are OpenGov, and I'm Samantha Grabovac. I am the account executive for asset and work order management, and I'll pass it over to my colleagues to say hello.
Morning. My name is James Dwyer. I'm also with OpenGov, and I'm our permitting and licensing account executive.
I think I need
My
to
name is Brian
be
Brighton. I'm the
there
director
learning
of
about OpenGov.
Here at OpenGov. It's a
This
pleasure
just got a lot more interesting.
Kyle or somebody, the TVs are not on.
This got
And I think for the live
1/3%
streamers,
better.
I don't know if they see these slides, so we'll
Well-
make sure to say everything. They will not. Okay, so we'll make sure to say everything back as well.
So while they're getting ready, I did speak with Samantha. I was at the commissioner meeting where they presented.
Sure he
They're
did.
going to be showing a little bit, hopefully, of some detail to kind of help everybody understand, a little bit better about what's coming. I think it's a little bit hard to wade through the
Sure it
marketing
is.
lingo to get some of this, to understand really how it's going to impact, our county potentially. So that's what they're here to do.
Thank you. Yeah, and I appreciate you setting the scene on that. We had some takeaways from last week. This week we'll focus on exactly
I will.
the
I
day
will,
would look
Liz.
like versus what tomorrow would look like. For some context, we have been working with Ed, with multiple of the commissioners, a few of the city council members, and overall teams, right, to do software demonstrations and endless conversations since about September or October. So what we've taken away from that is, we've seen that right now current processes are very people dependent, very manual, right? We see this in government. We are purpose built, so we only work with governments, specifically local municipalities, state and local, as well as special districts. We work with
special
Muncie
district?
Sanitary District down the road. So from taking away these conversations, right, we wanted to come here and tell you what we're about and what we've discussed.
Okay.
We are here to discuss a contract that we actually gave these numbers back in December. So we have honored a 40% discount on our software through signatures in May. That brings us to a software proration of $45,000, $127,006, and then a one-time implementation of $80,880.80, excuse me. That is for 3 products. I did not mention that we are a current vendor. So you all utilize our budgeting and performance module or product. So we'll be just discussing how we can make that a stronger investment, as well as our permitting and licensing and enterprise asset management products. Any questions so far? We'll discuss what that looks like. I know that's a lot of buzzwords, right? So we'll get into that today. Like I mentioned, asset management, permitting and licensing, as well as performance management. 3 different products, 1 vendor or 1 platform is what we like to say. We are a full ERP. So getting started with asset management, that enterprise asset management, the first functionality would be facilities management. So today, work requests come in by phone call, email, sticky note, hallway conversation, right? Central queue is lacking. In-house staff don't necessarily share a system or a process, right? That's very repeatable. That's our goal here. So duplicates could fall through. The question comes up, when was this last service? How much did it cost? I know earlier we were talking about papers stacking to the sky, right? And then end of year reports take time. I know that in our conversations, we found that to be weeks and sometimes months because data is scattered across departments. So everything from buildings to HVAC to grounds and the work orders or work tasks to keep them running. So tomorrow, what would that look like, right? We would intake into one platform. So requests from residents, staff, inspectors, the process would be the same for very different types of work or tasks. Y'all are probably wondering asset management, and I'm talking work as well. A lot of municipalities separate those. What we do is we bring them together, but it's not duplicate entry, right? So field crew, we want to make that as simple as possible. We were talking those clocks, right? We actually have a stopwatch functionality in our software where field crew could press that when they've started and stopped, and we can add controls behind the scenes. So it's as easy as clicking a button or snapping a picture when this work is being input. That is what operators should be focused on, right? And then you all will be able to one-click report and actually asset manage based off of the work that they're already doing. So think in facilities, we associate condition scores to that facility of it's crumbling, it's actually out of 100. It's crumbling or it's doing really well. When do we need to repair or when do we need to replace before it actually crumbles? So that's what you all have the ability to do, while those operators can focus on getting the actual work into associate condition scores. That creates faster response times, asset history all in one place. Every request is tracked, and then no more duplicate work, defensible capital planning as well. You'll see transportation and public works is another functionality within enterprise asset management. So crews are driving routes from memory, or snow ops and pothole repair, sign replacements. Those are being whiteboarded, or maybe we don't know about them until a citizen calls in, right? The system of record of when was this last inspected, or when was this road last paved? How much did this cost? And then we come into meetings like this, and the funding anecdotes rely on those who are actually operating rather than defensible data. If a claim is filed, proving that the work was done takes hours of searching. It could be paper, it could be sticky notes. What does this look like tomorrow with OpenGov? So we are actually GIS based. Anything that you have living in Esri or your GIS today, it's like two friends talking on the phone, no duplicate entry there. So if you're editing something or an asset in Esri, then that will communicate right back over, or Beacon, or what your GIS provider is. Field crews can log work from a phone, a tablet, a desktop, and all of those interfaces look the same. So it's easier to learn, right? We actually changed that in the last year because we take feedback from our customers. That's really important to us. And we heard that, we're not talking the same language behind the desk that we are out in the field. Snowplow routes, we can optimize those based off of map and add a calendar functionality. So I call out sick, then we can drag and drop my work to a different day based off of priority. Capital plans are built on that condition data, and risk and liability is dropped because the record always exists. I mentioned unlimited user model. So that means that each person can have their own login and will have their own login to log their work. So every task is associated to a specific person. As we're talking about fraud, or as we're talking about system of record, very important because you can easily go back to who logged the work and ask questions. This creates a data-driven plan, stronger liability defense, less reactive, more strategic. Wrap it up with asset management. For fleet management, I know we've been talking a lot about EMS, right? And vehicles, they deteriorate, they have issues. It seems like sometimes those vehicles that are newer in the shop more than the vehicles that might be older. I see some smiling, so it sounds like we've heard that before. Mechanics are often working from paper sheets. Preventative maintenance might get skipped because the schedule is fluid. Repair history is living in those filing cabinets, or vehicles fail unexpectedly, right? And then there are emergency rates to fix them. So also when a mechanic leaves, or when anyone leaves, there's institutional knowledge lost. What this looks like tomorrow, we can set it and forget it, right? So the system should be reminding you both the work that needs to be done, but also the repairs that need to be made and replacements that also need to be made. Fewer emergency repairs, right size replacement budget helps for planning, and you can audit these records really at any time, given you have the controls to do so behind the scenes. I always like to put some numbers behind what I'm talking about, right? Here are some real results from real governments. I have it in the next slide as well, and you'll see that throughout today. But 1,500 staff hours saved annually. That was in Rosemont, Minnesota, just from switching over from true paper-based work order processes to a process that is repeatable each time. Call out here, as we know that each department runs extremely differently, and this allows each department to run and operate the way that they need to, but the data is all stored in one place for you all to be able to have that visibility. Windsor, Colorado, 520 hours saved per snow season. They were able to use maps to segment out where they were sending crews. We get it in the Midwest, right? That snow, you never know when it's going to come. It could be in the middle of summer, right? Colorado Springs had an 80% drop in vehicle claim damages and created a multi-year road plan. Here's just a few other statistics for y'all to look at. I mean, budget increases because you're able to come with defensible data of the work that's already being done. 55% increase in work order completion, 50% faster response to hazardous spills, 40% increase in task completion. Again, I mean, any other questions on numbers that you're seeing here?
Hours saved don't always equate to personnel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you basically have the same number of personnel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we haven't downsized personnel.
So what this does is it gives you that, first of all, time back, right? And then you're able to audit where you need to utilize resources, or maybe where you have too many resources, or where you don't have enough resources.
All of these tools he's talking about, they can probably get through Microsoft.
Yeah. I mean, this is nuts.
This is a hell of a lot of money for stuff that they could get through.
Yeah.
Things that are readily available.
Yeah,
you can have a Google Calendar that
shit that we should be doing.
Yeah.
We should have been doing for years.
Yeah. They look like bouncers.
Caroline
Levitt gets around.
Another important piece is going to be inspections. We have a mobile app that inspectors can use.
What?
This just seems like a big big amount of money for something that they could already have through things that are not that damn expensive.
Yeah, right.
The field, and this was purpose-built for inspections. As I'm sure you all know, specific areas within the county may have challenges with internet, and we've accounted for that. So if they are in a place where they don't have access to internet, they can still go out and fill out that inspection, and it will then cash once they're getting back to the office or somewhere where they have stable connection. So this is a huge time save for them all out in the field to be able to come back and not have to focus on writing that back down. Lastly, and I think probably most importantly, is going to be that overall improved customer experience. Applicants today seemingly have to make a lot of phone calls, have to come in, and both for you all from the customer side, from what we're able to provide you, again, it's that time back. And for applicants, it's the ability to do everything from, as mentioned earlier, initial application, as well as being able to see where their permit is in the process, making payments online and receiving notifications online. So I think just to highlight this slide in general, the most important things to note are going to be the ability for you all to issue permits a lot faster, capturing more fees, as this will all be done online, and fewer phone calls for the staff.
Yeah. Some of
Any
it.
questions on this piece before I move on?
No, nobody has a damn question.
We've been fortunate enough to have roughly 650 partnerships across permitting and licensing. I wanted to highlight a few here, just to make specific call outs to what I think is similar to the use case that you all have. First, you'll see Madison, Indiana. One of the code enforcement officers said the biggest benefit that he's seen with this is he has the ability to go in and see exactly what's required of him across each case that he's involved in, making it a lot easier for him to be organized and move throughout his day. Second would be New Canaan, Connecticut. We partner with them for health permitting specifically. And the big reason that they came over to us was they felt that they might be missing certain fees because they were collecting this via pen and paper. They had a goal to reach $800,000 in fee captured by the end of the year, and were able to hit $1 million in the first 6 months, as they were able to just capture these other fees that were slipping due to the manual processes in place. And then lastly, Sandy Springs, Georgia. This was a fast growing community that we partnered with for planning and zoning and building inspections. And I think two important things to note here: as they continue to grow, they just made the note that they could not keep up with that growth. And now they're able to do up to 80 inspections in a single day. And from the public side, one of the biggest benefits that they saw was they were constantly being asked about how many cases are open or where their case sits. Now the public has the ability to go on and has that access to do it without making the phone call. And it's led to just a more transparent experience for all of those within the city.
Thanks, James. So I think what you're going to hear today from us up here is the two words: transparency and accountability. And that's everything that we're trying to drive and to help you drive in your community. So as we go through this, we want to look at the change and what we're bringing to you every single day, and basing that on the targets that we're bringing with it. So baseline and targets: in the first 90 days, we set baselines from permit or turnaround with order completion and revenue captured. We agreed that with Ed and reported back to council. Okay. Monthly council reporting: this is an automatically generated report that'll come back to you consistently without any overhead involved in that. Public facing dashboard: this is a huge upside to what your transparency can be to the public as you go through this process. And then the internal audit controls: what you have the capabilities of doing internally now is unparamounted compared to where it's at before. Okay, so how OpenGov prevents fraud, waste, and error. So you're going to see two different sides: built-in system controls, visibility, and oversight. So I'll run through the built-in system controls first. Role-based permissions, segregation of duties, multi-step approval workflows, tamper-proof audit trail, required field and data validation, and automated alerts. All of these things will drive exactly what this conversation has been today in this room. We will help you drive the transparency and your capabilities to stay on top of everything. And the visibility and oversight: audit ready on demand, asset accountability, fee and revenue reconciliation, vendor controls, public facing transparency, and internal audit support. This is incredibly important as we're talking through this and what your visibility is outward and inward. Any questions on this? So what we're asking today is a conversation around a signature today, which will drive us through a July 1st implementation start date. We have been in great conversation since October of last year, going through diligence, going through the demos, multiple demos, to make sure that this is the right tool that fits the need of the city or of the council. And that we think that at this point in time, we were able to hold the 40% discount through the end of this month. And we are really looking forward to continue the conversation and implementation. Any questions?
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's exactly right,
I
Kate.
always appreciate when salespeople, take their customers' recommendations to heart. So this was great, and
they're all hooked,
because ultimately we don't approve a contract. Commissioners approve a contract. We're gonna say yay or nay to this joint resolution, which is really just a stamp of approval from our side that we agree this is the direction we should be heading towards. But ultimately, the contract will come from the commissioners.
And did they do it? Do they do it?
This was very helpful in the real world examples. I mean, we are not going to modernize Delaware County without a full-blown ERP or some centralized system that allows us some insight, without an insight, regardless of the people sitting at this desk or any other desk for that matter. which is what we've been lacking. And we just talked about, ad nauseum about payroll and other things. So
Yeah, we've been
I
lacking
think that
this
is a
because
huge step
because
forward for us.
because it costs money. It costs to not be corrupt. It costs to not be corrupt. We can't just not be corrupt. We can't have checks and balances in. We can't put people in place that we expect to go in and do their damn job. We need this. We need the Terminator.
Couple quick questions. That you say it says health permits. I did ask Gary got some insight about the Colleen's office. Have you guys met with our health department about their unique needs?
Not specifically. We had a conversation with Ed around the permit types you all have today, and health was one that was noted as being important to be a part of this overview and project.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not just permits in the health department. There's other
like
things,
licenses, for instance.
I mean, I would recommend that there obviously be. I know there's a steering committee outlined in this resolution, but we got to get buy-in.
What a Miami Vice is he wearing?
Obviously, our building commissioner's office, health. If they're going to be utilized, I think we should try to get with them sooner rather than later.
So let me give you some background. I have conversations with Jamie, give me numbers of permits and et cetera, and how they would like to use a product. We've also had demos with highway and the sheriff with reference to the asset management portion of this product. So those have already taken place amongst others, but we did preliminary, what I call preliminary assessment with multiple departments, trying to understand what their needs were and quantity, how many permits they submit, how many times they submit them. In some cases, they have to re-enter the same data 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So that was part of the original preliminary assessment. There needs to be a much deeper dive into that.
Just blessing it. We're not giving there's financial approval.
If you're talking about this,
Is this thing supposed to stop enough hemorrhaging to cover its own cost?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because did she say it's $400,000
a year?
A year, and an $80,000 startup fee.
Yeah, I think I saw a Black Mirror episode like this.
I saw your work, which I call the services component, but this is a license agreement to add these specific things, and it's also adding them for 1, 2,
yes, Stumblefoot,
5 years, which again, contractually speaking, I know historically with commissioners, I wouldn't sign a 5-year agreement, and not for
4 days.
So again, but back to the specific question, which is, we're not signing this.
No, we're just, Ed is asking it to be I guess it'd be an acknowledgement that this is what we're looking at in terms of finances with this project.
Right. What are the outs?
We can't appropriate money for the next 5 years.
No, correct.
Can I clarify just to, if you approve the resolution, we will have to be back for the funds for this year, because while we have money in the contractual services, it's designated. So Ed will be back next month to ask for that money. It's also showing you that there's a signed contract that if you approve this, that he's going to include it in his budget for the next few years too. Just to make you guys aware of the cost of everything.
And the request next month will be $80,880.80.
Yes.
Detail that's in the order number. Other comments or questions?
I'm sorry.
Actually, the request would not be 80,000. It's gonna be the total 126,007.86. Because it's the service and the deployment implementation of product.
Right. And it shows customer billing service period 6/1 of 26 as 133,529.02. So while I appreciate the May deadline, we're still in Q2. So I don't see why May is a definitive other than getting started by July 1.
So the July 1 start date allows us to stand you up for the first of the year, or in the beginning of the first year in January. Right. So that's what we were shooting at, and that's why we work backwards from the date of where we want to take the implementation. So if it's,
I'm not familiar with the master contract. What
event, we'll work around that schedule so that the implementation is on track, but we build it out to be flexible, and it comes down to the 9-month comes down to about an hour a week, roughly. So we can
right. The
more
realist.
aggressive as well.
Yeah, and to his point, right, like summer we understand is incredibly busy with what every person is doing between you, field crew, everyone in this room. We have a team of typically 6 to 8 members who are dedicated to your implementation. What I'll say to that first month, what is the first month? What does the second month look like? That's where we start to establish goals of both you all and of those who are going to be using the software day in and day out. So a lot of times those first conversations, specifically, let's talk field crew for a moment. We will have individualized conversations of what each person is currently doing, right? Because we understand that there's a lot of institutional knowledge. There's a lot of, I've been doing this for 20, 30 years. And we try to maintain as much of that as possible, right? We're not trying, Rome wasn't built in a day, but maybe in, month 3, we want that person to be able to attach a photo to the work they did, right? It's a good goal. While someone else, maybe we want that person to be able to turn on a stopwatch while they're out completing work, attach a photo, attach the, or type in the vehicle that they used along with how much asphalt they used to patch a pothole, right? Those are very different, but at the end, in that 6 to 9 months, we're all going to be at the same level. Believe it or not, we've done implementation after implementation based off of what your goals are.
I'm not familiar with the master contract. What if we get to the end of 2028 and we don't think this is working for us? What are the termination provisions?
So, so from the termination of the 2028, which would leave you with what, 2 years left in your contract? Yeah. At that point in time, we would work with you to get you back your data. It's always your data. And then we would go through,
they'd work. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We would work with you to get your data back, and then you could go someplace else.
To get our data back.
There is a clause for termination for non-appropriation. So if there was a year that you couldn't get funding, we can work with you there.
Which is
really possibility.
Not out of the realm of possibility, exactly. Other questions?
What is our current term for the other modules that we use?
It's aligned to January 1st.
Oh, man.
End date on those, or are those when did those start?
We can double check on that. We aligned the dates so that when the renewal terms come up, that could be easily swapped.
I believe it's the end of this year. So that budgeting that we do during that budget cycle, that contract ends at the end of this year.
I would suggest you negotiate a more an annual increase reduction, or at least tie it to CPI or something that's going to be less than 5% most likely, just to give us a little bit of break. And I mean, I don't see why we signed 5-year agreements. I think they should be a minimum, a maximum of 3, given the situation. I know this is an ERP system, so it's a little bit different. It's definitely not something you're going to rip and replace, very easy. But so again, that's just my feedback on that piece. As in terms of the resolution, and it's pretty straightforward. It's really just a stamp of approval with some general guidance, I guess, of how you plan to oversight the administration of this project.
Well, as far as the resolution itself, it tries to adjust what we call the areas of potential fraud, abuse, and or data being entered incorrectly, et cetera. It really tries to streamline that to basically say when we enter it once, we don't have to enter the data anymore. But that without that, we can't guarantee that things won't work. It's just, we can keep doing the same way, except expect different results. That's wishful thinking. But I'm just saying that that's where we're at.
Yeah. So I am concerned about the timeline from an implementation standpoint. If just worked in software for 20 years, and knowing how our kind of government folks tend to operate, I do think from an execution standpoint, it could be a concern. So we got to be very careful that, again, I am a staunch supporter. We need to do this. However, executing, garnering consensus, getting the steering committee in place, we got a lot going on this year already, right? So it's going to be, to me, it's going to be a challenge to implement all multiple phases of this in the time that you guys have allotted. Just on the surface, it feels that way. It's, and I don't want to get to a point where, okay, we're 6 months from now or 7 months from now, and we're kind of like, hey, we didn't get it done. So January 1, we're not getting the data start, we're not getting those things. So prioritizing what's the most important elements and making sure we hit those targets probably would be something
I think
talk about.
My question would be, do we know where the next fraud instance might occur? Because that's where I'd want to put
Oh, wow. I got some information about this.
Does anyone know where it's going to be? Because if we don't, you need to do it all or do none. To me, that's the bottom line. If you don't want to fix the problem, just say, don't fix the problem. If you do, then this is one of the 2 different vendors to essentially fix those issues.
Who are your competitors?
Other questions?
Usually have one.
Oh. I wanted an estimate on cost and time savings if we approve this. And then I guess also if implemented, is there a way at the end of year one, which would be the end of 28, to get an actual number, cost and time savings?
What I would add to that, we at the end of the day, this is a partnership, and this should be not only software, but a process that is used every single time. I mean, take assets. You click into an asset, you can see manuals, you can everything in one spot, right? So to your point, right, when we begin a partnership, what we'd love to do is help to get the word out, because I think that that's also a goal, is what are we doing about the concerns that we've heard in this room. So we'd love to help with some press releases. And then we'd love to actually create customer stories with you. Ed was a part of a customer story that we did in our budgeting module or product that's posted on our website. And so we could work with you to create customer stories that you could not only publish around the building, but on your website. You could share those on LinkedIn, on social media, and it helps our partnership not only grow, but you can truly show fact-based figures on return on investment here.
I believe I said that link to. Because it actually showed we saved the county $100,000 in time. And we were able to do that, which allowed us to.
Cox Enterprises.
I've been asking for additional people.
Go figure.
Years, and we're going to be able to do that because we've been able to streamline the process. We went from 51 hours to 20 hours, something like that. Not counting the time behind the scenes we have to work to do those budgets and prepare them. And you guys request changes. So is there documentation to support the estimated cost? Sure there are, but there's nothing better than having actual data. So we can't get the data until we implement product. And we've implemented one product of theirs and we've proved it to actually exceed our expectations. So
Ed, you mentioned the finance committee, and I don't know if I'm jumping around here. Are you planning on hiring an additional, is your thought that you would like to hire an additional person to monitor the system?
No.
What conversation we had? Was that a time clock?
Listen to this. We'll pause this nonsense because that's just basically nonsense. Listen, I know it's hard out there, but you should really want to avoid open gov. The CEO, Zach Bookman, sucks beyond having a mammoth ego and inability to take feedback. He's incredibly fickle. Technical leadership is terrible and largely led by non-technical psychopaths. Almost all the decent and a lot of the bad leadership, 2 CTOs, 2 heads of security, plus many more have left over the last year or two. They are heavily outsourcing, collaborating across borders. They have an AI-first strategy that lacks any strategy. The real promotions are largely limited to those that stroke the CEO's ego. There's a cult-like culture, which Zach likes, that makes it really hard for anyone in leadership that wants to do a good job. Doing a good job is not the focus to it. Let's see here. They do not like to admit when something isn't working. The pay and the benefits are good. I'm trying to find information about what they're doing. And I'm trying to find information about who owns the information. It looks like they were just... I guess in February of 2024, they were bought by Cox Enterprises, or Cox Enterprises bought a majority of them. Major investment valued at $1.8 billion.
We were talking about, okay, if this is implemented, we're going to have one more person on board that monitors
week, or if there are any outstanding, or I'm out in the field and I can pull up the map and see open requests near me and just go hit one of those. Does that answer?
Suggested that we take up order form
for contract, excuse me. Sure, I'm in agreement with something that long that can't be adjusted, but that's up to the commission.
Other comments?
I believe they addressed that question. So if it wasn't appropriated, it wouldn't happen. That's your clause to get out. If you don't want to put the budget, then it would be removed.
Other comments?
Ooh, Ed's mad.
Thank you for all the information.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ed.
If you have any questions after this, I know I've sent some emails, my cell number's
could
in
you
there,
send
but
that,
please give us a call.
That tech out, please?
Yeah, we'll send this out as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Roll call, Ed.
Here we go.
Ms. Flanagan.
Yes.
Mr. Wyatt.
Yes.
Mr. Vogel.
Yes.
Mr. Bookout.
Yes.
Mr. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Cantz.
Yes.
Mr. Hughes.
Yes. Ed
Hey!
suggested that we take up order form.
So we
Do
get a
14189,
computer program to
which
do
you
the
have.
things we won't do.
The things we won't do, the things that we can't do, the things that we won't may force others to do. Bullshit.
Yeah. Does this thing make your budget for you too?
Yeah, right. That
Who-
next year.
Who owns the data?
We're gonna have to look into that. I've got some stuff I'm gonna have to send for some record requests. I got a bunch of shit I gotta send tomorrow for the council.
You're going to do next month when an actual appropriation comes. You still have to appropriate it next month, so you're not finding yourself.
Oh yeah, right. This has been
It was a really nice tool that as a group, if and when we're up about 12% roughly, is what I calculated.
That's a given. If there are open positions, if there is an opportunity to move them to 40-hour positions and maybe not fill a position going forward, that would certainly be helpful. Operating expenses, the days of just adding another 5 or 10% on all your operating expenses, just don't do it. You need to keep those.
Greetings, Tony Skinner, Delaware County Sheriff.
Greetings.
First, I want to appreciate you guys for factoring in my comments from a couple of months ago about the second party authentication for payroll and stuff like that. I think the wording that you concluded on was very appropriate. So thank you for that. Secondly, I think it goes without saying that the high gas prices are taking a toll on us and our budget. So just know that at some point this year, we're probably going to have to come back and ask for a little more. The prices are coming down now. We do have a mileage restriction in place. I'm very firm about guys leaving their cars idling when they're not in them. Our canine cars are the exception to that, but I'm kind of a butthole when it comes to that, and our deputies know it, but just wanted to forewarn you now that at some point at the end of the year, if it stays like it is, we're going to have to need a little help. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Coroner.
Gavin Green, Delaware County Coroner. Just want to come up and give my monthly spiel of all the cases that we've had. Currently, we've had 280 cases as of this morning. That's 1.92 cases a day, so about 2 a day. We're averaging 13 a week, 58 a month. We're projected to do about 700 for this year. Councilperson Cantz, just to let you know, we had 601 cases last year total for our office, and we did 188 autopsies last year. That was a question that you asked last meeting that I wanted to
How
give
are
you.
you trending this year?
For autopsies, probably right around there. So, and to also piggyback off of, I appreciate the council's guidance on basically just ripping the Band-Aid off and saying no increases. We're not going to do any salary increases, but just to let you know how we operate is we do not have any vehicles. All of our deputies can turn in mileage if they want, but there's no per diem. So if they only travel 2 miles from the house, they're going to get whatever the county is giving us for the 2 miles. So all of our deputies that get paid on a per case basis, they can turn in mileage. But Rhiannon, Gary, and myself, we hardly ever turn any mileage in. It's just kind of a cost of it's what I have to do for this elected job. So
yeah,
we do not have to endure those high gas prices. So, but I appreciate everyone just telling us kind of the guidance of what to do going forward. And
we're almost done, folks.
9 line items that we have will give a nice explanation, and hopefully you don't have any questions.
Where we are year to date for insurance and try to put together some sort of an expected forecast for the rest of this year and an anticipated rate for next year. I'm hoping that there will be no rate increase. Mr. Hughes earlier commented on some cost reductions, cost savings that the Commissioner's Office is working on. One thing specifically as it relates to payroll tax, the Section 125 plans of the IRS tax code. I think there's a big opportunity in the county to take advantage of that. We're working with a company that could potentially administer that for us, and it would essentially be Nothing's free, of course, but it would essentially be free because they would get paid out of the fees, or I'm sorry, they would get paid out of the savings that the county would experience by not having to match those FICA taxes and the savings that the employee would make. So as an example, an employee making around $45,000 a year could, if they took full advantage of the Section 125 plans, they could put about another $1,900 in their pocket on an annual basis. And that same employee, if they took.
Okay, here we go. Here's what I want to hear.
Rick Yenser, newsman, author. After listening to 3 hours here of spending and budgeting, a couple things come to mind, especially as you consider what you're going to do about money. As some of you saw last week when the people showed up, they said live within your means. And that's what we all have to do with higher prices, whether it's food or gas. I still hear noise over at City Hall that they may try to push through an income tax increase, which would benefit all government. And I'm not sure why, even though they're still throwing too much money into public safety instead of public works or other things. And as far as the software, I've heard this pitch a couple times. My main question is, one, is it AI assisted? Second, how it is going to benefit the people. Because again, most of the government websites are kind of old. They only have limited information. And again, it doesn't matter how much government puts up online. We don't have media here anymore. The paper's mailed to you. It's got one person that writes it. The radio, you listen to it, going to work, coming home. So anyway, then you got social media, people like me that know where people get their news. And with 40,000 people at our one site, and Hansard's got another with 75,000, you may want to think about how you're going to get the message out to the people, because every time you're going to talk about raising taxes, they're going to be up here and tell you, live within your means. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you might want to talk to the folks while they're here, but that's one of the ideas of OpenGov. The whole concept is to make all this information public, which it is not at the present time. Any other public comments?
You
Comments from
know,
the council?
I actually have one today. All of us received our letters for our
So
annual
a
conference.
citizen could create an account and get into this system to look at everything?
yeah, that'd be very interesting.
How are they going to get this information out to the public?
Yeah, I'm very interesting about that. I'm very interested on how that's going to benefit us. You know, what these elected officials could do is they could meet the public where they are.
So I know that's something that some of us try to get to every year. I believe Dan and Jim and myself have already reserved our rooms on our own. How do you want us to go about scheduling to actually participate in the conference itself? You know, sometimes we've gone through the auditor's office and you've handled that for us. Other times we've done it on our own. So I believe that you did. Okay. So then we need to let Tanya know as soon as possible so she can register us if we plan to attend. Thank you.
I suggest Jessica.
I guess that's me. Send your emails to me if you plan to attend the conference. But it's very good. We learn a lot about what's going on at the state level. And I think the most beneficial part of attending the conference is talking to the other counties, finding out what their pain points are, sharing our best practices. So a lot of good that comes from this annual conference. So yeah, just email me.
Quick question for Tanya. Do you have the rooms blocked already for 7 of us? So there's no guarantee we'll get that hotel at this particular point in time.
Yeah,
So
on your
why
own to
would-
book it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Figure that shit
that's for
out
the
on
actual
your own
conference, to
time,
attend
man.
this portion of the website. I know I've done that.
I want to remind the public of Article 10, Section 1 of the Indiana State Constitution. Subject to this section, the General Assembly shall provide by law for a uniform and equal rate of property assessment and taxation, and shall prescribe regulations to secure a just valuation for taxation of all property, both real and personal. So if you have questions, contact your state representative or state senator. Anything further? Entertain a motion to
I
adjourn.
appreciate that.
Second.
Mr. Hughes.
Motion to by Jessica, second by Dan. All in favor, say aye.
All right. So that was that. That was nonsensical, man. I am so glad. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. I was going to watch that this evening, and all that would have done was it would have pissed me off. I would have been pissed off all night and until we watch it tomorrow. So thank you for calling me and giving me a heads up on that so we could watch that. because I want as many people to know about that as possible. I want you guys to share that shit. I want to help spread the word and get that message out and have people watch this. People need to go back and watch this meeting and get this meeting out. And people need to see this to see what these jokers are doing. Absolutely insane. The nonsense that went on at the beginning of the meeting, what this deal is with OpenGov. I'm actually going to go back and watch the entire thing again and take some notes. I have some notes that I have typed up or written out here that I'm going to type up in email. I need to send some record requests out tomorrow. I'm going to be asking about some of the Mike Ashley comments about the Delaware County EMS. I'm going to ask some questions about OpenGov. I'm going to ask some questions, just about things that we heard in this meeting. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. And this is absolutely crazy. I would highly recommend citizens of Delaware County going back and listening to this again. At least skip their nonsense. We heard all the nonsense arguing. At least go back and listen to the OpenGov performance from start to finish, because we did skip around in there a little bit. So I'm going to go back and listen. And if there's anything crazy in there that we skipped, I will let you guys know. Hey, before we wrap up, I do feel like I have to mention this just for a second, and I feel like this is very important. So I am going to mention this deal with the local party. Give me 1 second. We'll take a quick break, and then when we get back, we'll finish this up. Sit tight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just, in talking about the party, the local Delaware County Party, it's the 26th. As of the date I'm recording this, broadcasting this live, it's the 26th of May. That means I have been attempting to get in contact with the Republican Party chairman, Tim Overton, now for 21 days without success. I have emailed him. I have Facebook messaged him. I have texted him. I have called him. I have texted him and called him from private numbers. I have texted him and called him from various other numbers, not in any way connected to me. And I cannot get this man to answer the phone. And what this means is he's not just hiding from me. That's not what he's doing. He's not just hiding from me. He's just totally screening his calls, which I have to think is not a professional way to handle what in the hell it is that he should be handling. This guy is supposed to be the leader of the party. I ran for delegate in the 3rd district. There were 5 winners in the third district. It was a pick 5. The 5 highest voters move on to become a delegate, and they move on to the convention where they will get to decide what goes on with our Secretary of State's race, who the nominee will be. And that's something I really, really want to do. I told Tim ahead of time that if I did not make it in one of the 5 spots, that I wanted to be appointed in one of the other spots. I think in District 3 and District 2, they have pick 5s. And then in District 1, it's like 28 go or something like that. It's really crazy. And they never have enough. And back when I first announced and I first told him, he was cool with that. Well, now he's being an absolute jerk. He's being childish. And I think that this is detrimental to the party. I am doing everything that I can to get a hold of him. Even if I don't get a hold of him, I am going to go to the convention and cover it as much as they will permit me to cover until the point that they throw me out, which I will make. So I am going to go up there. I think I'm going to get a room and just go up there and be there Friday and Saturday to cover the event. So if I'm not inside as a delegate, I will do what I can to cover the event. So we'll keep you guys posted. My wish is to be a delegate. and go through that process. So I will let you know. I am in the process of contacting people at the state party to let them know what's going on with Tim. I think it's crazy, and I'm really interested to see what's going on with Tim, because Tim came out really hardcore for Diego. Of course, he's already endorsed Diego. Tim also drools all over himself at the thought of Jim Banks and Todd Rokita. Of course, Banks and Rokita came out and pulled their endorsement from Diego, gave it to Max Engling. Just a real crazy deal there. The situation with Diego is getting more and more out of control. The situation with Elaine Cupsey, which that is the way you pronounce her name, it's Cupsey. It was basically ran out the fact that she was here and is not a citizen of America. And it is being said, as I stated the other day, that while she was here legally on a visa, that I believe what the word is that she has overstayed her visa, which at this point would make her illegal. She would be here illegally, and so that's a problem.
Can
So
I
there's
show you something funny?
What?
Can I show you something funny?
Sure. Some delegates received this mailer from Diego Morales. The mail moves slowly, I guess. Oh no.
Isn't that great?
And so, wait a minute. I want to know, is he really there, or is that him standing by a cutout?
I think it's pictures of both of them on the mailer.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. That might be. So that's on the mailer. Man, I tell you, that's a horrible, horrible, horrible fate. The fact that they put this mailer out and then that's endorsed. That is great. They need to be, oh God, that needs to be shoved down Jim Banks' throat. I think that's absolutely amazing. You know, I have a serious question out there to some friends and viewers of the show. A friend of mine, I need to contact him privately. Adam Harvey. Adam Harvey is a gentleman that's involved in state government. He's an attorney. And Adam was specifically going hard in the paint for Diego. Go, Diego, go. And he's actually, you know, getting a little snippy with people about Diego here and there. And I just noticed today, actually, that he had kind of changed tune a little bit here. Let me see this. Yeah. It now says Adam Harvey invited you to follow Max for Indiana. Max for Indiana is, of course, Max Engling. And so I'm interested to know when he also got off that Diego train. So very interesting. But there's going to be a lot more to say about this, and I have more to say about this, but we just went late with the Delaware County Council deal. So we won't keep you much longer. We have more days to talk about this Diego deal. So I will keep you posted. I do have one message here. I've said on this program before that there are a couple of our elected officials in Delaware County that I do have no issue communicating with. Some of them are hard to communicate with, others aren't so difficult, and I appreciate that. And Council President Hughes has always been someone that has been very easy to email, and I respect Councilor Hughes tremendously. Whether we agree or disagree on things, I tend to agree with him a lot of the time, but there are things that we disagree on, but I respect him either way. And I do appreciate Councilor Hughes' message here. And he says, Chris, I understand your frustration with today's council meeting, but I believe it better serves the public interest to discuss issues such as controls over payroll in an open meeting rather than behind closed doors. As a result of today's meeting, I hope we have improved the process. As you know, government is usually behind the curve, but I hope we can continue to find ways to better serve the taxpayers. And I can tell you, I agree with that. I understand his thoughts there, and I can appreciate what he's saying, and I will always take that. It's frustrating what they're talking about, and I want to be very clear about this. I am never mad that a government meeting lasts 3 hours. If a government meeting needs to last 6 hours because the government, the elected officials are talking about what's going on and they are hashing things out, even if it's over the word, I'm fine with that. I would rather them do that than do something behind the scenes. I do not want that to happen. So I am fine with that. It's just frustrating when it seems like it's a level of just utter incompetence. And I'm not trying to say that, you know, any specific person has this or whatever. It's just sometimes it's so messy. But I do agree, it is always better to have that in front of the public in an open setting than behind closed doors. So I respect that answer. And while I was frustrated, I completely understand where he's coming from. All right, you guys take care. Have a great night. God bless each and every one of you. And we will see you tomorrow. Now, for all of you people that are here or not here, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see just what the hell happens when we get ready to end the stream, because it says go live. So who knows what happens? We will see. Ladies and gentlemen, here goes nothing. Go live and play intro, it says. That's so weird.
This is the Political Spotlight.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. It's more like a political flop.
Nobody listens to Bilbrey.
He's just a wannabe podcaster. No one takes him seriously.
He is a rude, crude dude that will never go any further than broadcasting from his mother's basement.
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians.
Grab another box of Twinkies and generic cola, Bilbrey, and get back to your microphone and your audience of nobodies.
The Political Spotlight is a joke.
It's more like a rude, crude dude that will never go
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians. Shut that stupid Bilbrey up.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Political Spotlight. I'm your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. This is episode 670. I hope you're doing well, ladies and gentlemen. We have an amazing episode planned for you guys tonight. We have a Delaware County Council meeting we're going to talk about. I have not seen this yet. We also are going to talk about the Delaware County Republican Party and the situation with Diego at the convention. I don't know what we do now. I honestly don't have a clue what we're going to do. So I'm so afraid, because now it's telling me who's here. It's telling me we've been live for an hour and 20 seconds, 1 minute. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen now. If we hit, I guess we're going to hit end and see if that, I hope it doesn't kill the whole show that we just did. You know what we'll do? If it does, if it kills the whole show, I will live stream it from YouTube, from Facebook, or from Twitter. This is weird. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We'll see what happens.